Hey everyone, Donna Nelson. Welcome to day 26 of Rooted in Wisdom, a daily dose of Donna. Tonight, I'm sharing with you something that's a bit near and dear to my heart because it's a challenge that I hear a lot from my clients. And that is, I know what to do, but you're not doing it. Story of my life. So, from knowing to doing. So, if you're not familiar with me or this series, Rooted in Wisdom, whether you want to up your game in business and have better relationships, make more money, have more abundance in all areas of your life, improve your mental, physical, emotional well-being, or feel more spiritually connected in your journey to wholeness, you need to know how to get there. And that's what tonight is about for sure. And you need to have a foundation that is rooted in science and soul. So I'm Donna Nelson. We're doing this series daily. I am the empowerment coach for purpose-driven business leaders and change makers who want to up their game and make a bigger impact leading from within. So from doing to knowing, from knowing to doing, and then doing what you know. So what do I mean by that? Well, simply there's three steps, right? From concept of I need to change something. So this comes up this time of year when I'm doing my breakthrough to wholeness program, and because it's all about change. And what are those aspects of ourselves that we want to be different, and how do we make that happen? What is it about our being, our patterns, our habits, our past, our present, all of those things within all aspects of our life that we want to change and look at. So in the Breakthrough to Wholeness program, we look at across all domains of your life and do some real deep self-discovery. So if you're into that kind of thing and want to make some big shifts this year, that's definitely the place to be. So this whole doing piece comes up when I start thinking about that, and around because we're starting next week. So if you want to get in that, I'll drop the link actually in the thread. Hello, Michael. Long time no talk. Oh, shoot. That's not what I want to do. Now I got myself all jacked up here. All right, I'll have to find it. Anyway, I'll drop it in the thread. So we have to, so in order to get to the change, we have to be able to take action. But here's what happens. This is the mistake that I see all the time. And that is, I know what to do, but I don't do it. Or we get into this learning mode of figuring out the know. So what is the knowing? K-N-O-W, right? So I now know, I have this self-awareness, I have this understanding of myself or a process, whatever it is, and now we have to know how. So it's one thing to know. It's one thing to have the self-awareness. So lots of the clients that I work with, either in my workshops or one-on-one, they come with this, I have really good self-awareness, which very often is true, because if you're looking for a coach, you have some degree of self-awareness that you need help, right? That you're trying to tweak this one thing, you want to get over this one hurdle, whatever it is, and you want somebody to help you with those little shifts to get there. So clearly there's a degree of self-awareness. But then there's the know-how. So once we get to the know-how, which is, okay, now I have a strategy, I have a plan, I know what to implement, the process, whatever. Got the instructions from start to finish. But often that's where we get stuck. So now I know what needs to change. Now I know how. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is why having this kind of group co-creating and collaborating, like what we're doing with the Breakthrough to Wholeness program, and having me every day to do some one-on-one coaching and Q&A and answer to help you stay on target and with what your goals are working through the program, is really important, because our old self, those aspects of us that we want to change, those old patterns, the focusing on the past, the mindset, the emotions, all of it, right? The physical sensations that come up when we start to make a big leap, and it feels like fear, right? Because it's unfamiliar and we know we're about to go into like this next level of something new and it feels scary. That's when the know-how becomes irrelevant. You can sit there and your logical brain will say, well, you know what to do, just go do it. I know what to do, I'm just going to go do it. And then you just go like do the laundry or go hop in the car and get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. So, you can process it and think about it, or take the dog for a walk or whatever. It's called procrastinating and self-sabotaging, because we have the know-how, but the implementation and the action is where we often get stuck. And we get stuck because of the stories and the physical reactions that happen once our brain pops in with that, you can't do that, you've never done that, how are you going to do that? What about that? Whatever the stories are, right? Then our physical body and our emotions now trigger a stress response. And if our body is not settled, meaning now it is in survival mode, you're less likely to take action. So having not only a really clear roadmap, meaning you're clear on your values, you're clear on your purpose, you're clear on seeing the end outcome and what the benefits are of that, and you can meditate and visualize and make sure that you keep retraining your brain to go back to that, knowing that that's the goal, not the past. And then that calms your body, and you're retraining and reconditioning your body to be able to keep moving and taking action, those little steps along the way, either day by day or one step in the process every hour, or whatever that process is, however that needs to work. But when our body is in survival mode, we are less likely to take the action doing something new and different, and more likely to keep going into those automatic patterns of the past. And as I've said in a prior one of these, is that if you want something different, you have to not just do something different, you have to be something different, because it is the being, the physical, the body change, that inner part of you, that beingness, that inner wisdom needs to change. Not just the inner wisdom, but the physicality of it. Those emotions need to change, because if you're going to keep getting triggered by those old emotions, of course, you're going to keep going back to those old patterns. And it doesn't really matter what area of life this is, it's going to happen. So it doesn't matter if it's in business, in relationships, in your money, in your food, it doesn't matter. It's going to keep happening over and over. So you need a system for changing that. And it's not going to happen overnight, which is why I have this program, Breakthrough to Wholeness, so that you have a support system and, as some say, a container, like a place where you can practice, get feedback, start over, but also know what the scientific evidence-based tools are, and have someone to help you move into getting clear on your own values, getting clear on your own needs, getting clear on your own intentions, and then being able to align with those things and then get into action doing the embodied practices. So it's my story for today. So that's how you're going to get into moving from I know now what I need to do and I know how, and then doing it, taking the action. So if you need support with that, this is an area you want to grow in, then get some support to do it. Because if you've been saying, I'm going to do it, or I know what to do, like, oh, I know what to do, but you haven't been doing it the way when you first said, oh, you got the epiphany, right? Like, oh my gosh, the inspiration of the, now I know why I do that. Now I know what I want to do. And then you went and got the knowledge on the how. And that was like 4 years ago because you still haven't implemented it. It might be time to get some support for that. Because that's an old pattern and old stories, old things living in your body that are not going to change by you saying, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or when some external thing outside of you changes, then you'll do it. You will not. Because that's not how it works. So anyway, I'll drop the link. So if you want to check that out, if I could support you one-on-one and you want to chat, feel free to message me on this page. And I'll see you next time.